Hey, third grade, this is your math video for lesson 7.1. So we are starting a new unit. So you've already taken your unit 6 math test, so now we are starting unit 7. This unit will review skills that we've learned in the past, as well as introducing new ones. So what we're going to be talking about today is liquid volume. We're going to learn how to measure liquid volume and the different units that we use. So for this, you are going to need your workbooks. We are going to peek at one page in your workbook, but other than that, you are just following along. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at some mental math warm-up, and then we are going to go into measuring liquid volume. So our mental math, it says one of these has a sum of about 250. And it says write that problem, not the sum, on your slate. So if you have a piece of paper or a whiteboard near you, you can try these problems, but this is practicing with estimation. So if you can look at two numbers and estimate what they're going to be near. So you're looking at 123 plus 130, 54 plus 310, or 113 plus 48. And you're trying to decide which one would be about 250. So which one, looking at them, makes sense that it would be near 250? So try this problem. So our answer for this one would be 123 plus 130. That would get us the closest to 250. If you look here, 310, we're already way over 250. And then to add more on top of that, it wouldn't make sense. Or this one, 113 plus 48. That wouldn't get us close to 250, but this first one would. So we estimated, we used our skills for estimation to try to see which one would get the closest and which one would make the most sense. So now let's try it for our next one. It says one of these has a sum of about 500. So which one do you think would have a sum of about 500? Again, look at the numbers that you are adding. Which one would make the most sense? You can pause the video while you try. But with this one, you want to try and do it, I don't want to say mental math, but you almost want to be able to look at it and think like I did in the first one, which one would make sense. So for this one, it would be 297 plus 210 because this one is close to 300 and this is close to 200. And if you think 3 plus 2 or 300 plus 200, that would get you close to 500. These other ones, 253 plus 109, that wouldn't get you close to 500. That would be less than. And then same with 402 plus 28. That still would not get you close to 500. So again, just practicing estimation because that will play a part in going through liquid mass and liquid volume. So we'll start by going over what liquid volume is. So this is a picture from your student reference handbook. So it says liquid volume. Sometimes you need to know amounts of things that can be poured. All liquids can be poured. Some solids such as sand and sugar can be poured too. Liquid volume is a measure of how much liquid is in a container. Liquid volume is usually measured in units such as liters, milliliters, gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces. Liters and milliliters are units in the metric system. Gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces are units in the U.S. customary system. Most labels for liquid containers show volume in both metric and U.S. customary units. The table below shows how different units of liquid volume compare to each other in the metric system. So we'll look at that next, but here's a picture of a beaker, and it's a 1,000 milliliter beaker or a 1 liter beaker. A beaker is a tool that measures liquid volume. It's typically glass. But what's key with this is noticing that 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter. So milliliters is a smaller unit than liters, which we'll look at. So this is showing metric units, and this is showing the U.S. system. So metric units, like that said before, was liters and milliliters. So 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. And then 1 milliliter is the smaller unit. So it is only 1 compared to 1,000 liter. And the table below shows how different units of liquid volume compare to each other. So 1 gallon is 4 quarts, 1 quart is 2 pints, 1 pint is 2 cups, and 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. These are examples. A cup is like a cup, a glass, or the little milk containers. A pint is a little bit bigger. A quart is a little bit bigger, and a gallon is a little bit bigger. So the gallon is the biggest here, and then it goes then quart, then pint, then cup, and then fluid ounces is the smallest. You can check for fluid ounces on things like mouthwash, hand sanitizer, things like that. It will say FL next to how many fluid ounces. One of the ways that they help you remember is the gallon man, showing that the gallon is the biggest, and inside 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Inside 1 quart is 2 pints, and inside 1 pint is 2 cups. So it shows kind of, this breakdown, because then you could also look, well, if a quart is 2 pints, a quart could also be 4 cups. A gallon could be 2, 4, 6, 8 pints, which is what it was saying on this breakdown over here. So the gallon man is just a trick that people use to remember how many go into each. So with the gallon is the body, it's the biggest one. Then the arms and the feet and the legs go into the gallon for the quarts, the pints, and then the cups. The one we're going to be focusing on is liters and milliliters. So liters are the bigger unit, and then the milliliters are the smaller unit. So for a liter, you can think of like a milk carton, not like the big gallon, but the next one down, the liter, or even like a bigger water bottle. And then a milliliter, they think of like an eyedropper. So 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to show you a couple different containers, and we're going to compare the volume of each of the containers and see which one holds the most and which one holds the least.